Hello everyone, this is JT Productions and I'm here for a preview and prediction video on the Clemson Tigers. Last season, the Clemson Tigers ended up going 10-3, 6-2 in the ACC with losses to the national champions, Georgia Bulldogs, at North Carolina State, and at Pitt. To be fair, Pitt had a generational quarterback, I guess, in Kenny Pickett, who got drafted in the first round this past year. North Carolina had two great running backs, and Georgia just had probably the best defense in college football. So, other than that, as well, they struggled with a couple of games at the start of the season, including Georgia Tech at home, Boston College at home, at Syracuse, Florida State. That score is worse than the game actually was. At Louisville, and then against Iowa State in the Campbell World Bowl. Besides that, their offense was terrible last year. Their defense, probably top 5 in the league as well. Now to the team, they return a lot on offense except for Justin Ross, who also did not do well last year because coming off of the neck injury that he had. Now offense, you have starting quarterback DJ Uiagalelei, who has been said that him and Cade Klubnik have not looked good so far, at least. They didn't look good in spring practice, however. They could be doing better. I think I heard something that DJ had looked a little bit better, but who knows. Running back, you have sophomore Will Shipley. He, coming out of high school, they said that he was like the Christian McCaffrey in the making, something like that. Kobe Pace is a good backup. Wide receivers, you have Joseph Ngata. He's a great senior wide receiver. You have Bo Collins and E.J. Williams. E.J. Williams probably a little bit better than Bo Collins. Then tight end, you have Davis Allen. He's a good tight end. Offensive line, it was terrible last year. Maybe they can be a little bit better. I don't know. Dabo Swinney hates the transfer portal, so it's unlikely unless they just take a big step. Now, on defense, they're in a lot better spot. They return to at least 5 starters on the defensive front. Miles Murphy, Tyler Davis, Brian Breezy, Xavier Thomas, KJ Henry, Trenton Simpson, Jeremiah Trotter. Remember those names because they're going to be lighting up this stat sheet this fall. Secondary, you got some new names besides Sheridan Jones and Jalen Phillips, Malcolm Green as well. But like Nate Wiggins and Andrew Mukuba. Besides that, their defense is going to have to carry them. Either that or their offensive line is going to have to step up big time. So let's get to the schedule and see how they do. Week 1, they play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Georgia Tech. I'm not sure why it says at Georgia Tech if they're playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium because that's not their home stadium, but oh well. They're playing Mercedes-Benz. So, the thing is, Georgia Tech got transfer quarterback Tyson Pumachan from Clemson. He was their backup last year. Georgia Tech has struggled with quarterback Jeff Sims last year. He's very turnover prone. If Tyson Pumachan lives up to his 4-star rating in week 1, I just see an upset. I think Georgia Tech against Clemson. Georgia Tech gets a win against Clemson. I think this is going to be a big win for Jeff Collins. I don't know if it could save his job by the end of the season, but it's going to be a big win for Jeff Collins. A big loss for Clemson. Week 2, Furman, win. Week 3, Louisiana Tech, win. Clemson's going to always dominate these lower classification schools, even when they're in the down years like these past 2 years. At Wake Forest, I think Clemson's defense is able to stop this high-powered Wake Forest offense, and I don't think the Wake Forest defense is going to be able to stop any kind of offense. I think Wake Forest is going to be kind of a Big 12 offense this year, just like Tennessee's going to be and Mississippi State. I think Clemson gets a win, gets the 3-1. Week 4 against NC State, Dabo's going to get his guys ready to get a rematch, not an upset, but a rematch win against NC State. It could get ugly. I don't think NC State's going to be as good as last year. They had 2 great running backs to carry them, to help carry the load. Devin Leary's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's going to be able to put the weight of consistently winning close to 19 games on his back. And I think they lose to Clemson. I think Clemson beats NC State. Then they come into this week 4-1 against Boston College. Boston College is going to be a good team. They get Phil Jerkovic back. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think, but I think Clemson gets the win in Chestnut Hill. This game could be a college game day game. It was a couple of years ago when Clemson came in to Chestnut Hill and blew out Boston College. Now 5-1 going into the game against Florida State. I think they get the win against Florida State. I think it could be close, but Florida State is not at the level of a down-year Clemson. So Clemson gets the win, goes 6-1. Syracuse in Clemson, win for Clemson. This goes 7-1 before their bye week, before their big matchup with Notre Dame in South Bend, Notre Dame Stadium, South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame's going to beat Clemson, I think, by at least 2 touchdowns or 2 scores. Clemson is not going to be able to score enough to beat Notre Dame. So that brings them to 7-2. Then they go and host Louisville, and I think they beat Louisville. I don't think Michael Cunningham is going to be able to carry the team to beat Clemson. And then Miami. At this point, Clemson is 8-2 going into the game against Miami. I believe Miami would be 8-2 at this point as well, if my schedule is correct. So it's going to be 8-2 versus 8-2. I think Miami gets the win. Tyler Van Dyke and that offense, it's going to be enough. I think they're going to make crazy plays. It could be a one-possession game, I think. Of course, I don't know. Season hadn't happened yet. But I think Miami beats Clemson in Death Valley and brings Clemson his 3rd loss. And finally, they host South Carolina to end the season. And you know what? South Carolina is going to beat Clemson. I know, you're probably shocked as much as I am. South Carolina is going to get a lot better in the next couple of years. Shane Beamer is a great coach. I think Spencer Rattler at this point, if he's still starting, most likely has his head in the right place. And South Carolina's got some weapons. And I think they have a good enough defense to slow down DJ Uiagalelei. They may force a couple of turnovers on him, and I think they beat Clemson for the first time since, 2014, 2013? So there you go. Clemson goes 8-4, and with 2 losses in the ACC. Will they still make the ACC championship? You'll have to keep watching these to figure that out. So, thanks for watching. Keep suggesting teams for me to do, and I'll do them. Any suggestion, any team. If it's a group of 5, Power 5, I don't care. As long as it's not FCS, because I know nothing about FCS. Thank you all so much for watching. Go Dogs, and see y'all next time.